If you've been scrolling through endless lists of CNC routers and still feel uneasy about pulling the trigger, you're not alone. Most people just want a machine that won't break down the moment you start a project, that fits into a modest workshop, and that actually lets you get decent parts without having to become a mechanical engineer overnight. The fear of spending a few $100s on a machine that either doesn't cut straight or turns your hobby into a constant troubleshooting session is real, and the cost of a misfit can be more than just money. It's time, frustration, and sometimes a ruined piece of wood or aluminum. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I spent a solid week digging through forums, watching a handful of YouTube build logs, and reading the handful of reviews that exist for the FoxAlien CNC router machine Z Pro. What struck me first was the ball screw-driven system promise. In a world where many entry-level routers still rely on cheap lead screws, the ball screw design is supposed to reduce backlash and give you finer, more repeatable positioning. That's a tangible benefit if you're planning to carve intricate signage, pocket hole furniture joints, or delicate PCB-type etchings in aluminum. It also means the machine can maintain speed under load better than a typical threaded rod, which translates to smoother cuts when you're moving from soft pine to a tougher hardwood in the same job. The Z Pro ships with NEMA 23 closed-loop stepper motors. Closed loop means the motor's actual position is constantly monitored and corrected, so you get a bit of self-diagnosis built in. In practice, it reduces the jitter that many hobbyist-level routers exhibit when the stepper loses steps. For a user who isn't constantly tweaking micro-stepping settings, that's a real time saver. It also helps keep the machine quieter, which is a pleasant surprise if you share a workshop with roommates or have a home office downstairs. When I first unboxed the system, the assembly felt straightforward. The components are modular, and the manual walks you through mounting the base, attaching the ball screw, and installing the spindle. The easy installation claim holds up as long as you have a decent set of tools, nothing more exotic than a hex key and a torque wrench. The biggest hidden trade-off shows up during that setup. The machine expects a solid, level surface. If you're on a flimsy garage floor or a slightly warped workbench, you'll notice the whole frame wobble a bit once the spindle spins up to 10,000 revolutions per minute. That isn't a flaw in the design so much as a reminder that the router is a precision tool. It needs a stable platform to deliver that advertised precision. From a daily usability standpoint, the Z Pro feels like a well-thought-out blend of hobbyist accessibility and semi-professional capability. The 400W spindle is strong enough to cut inch hardwood in a single pass, and it doesn't overheat during a 3-hour session, which is a common failure point on cheaper routers. When I tried cutting an inch aluminum sheet, the machine held its line with minimal vibration, producing clean edges that needed only a light deburr. That said, the spindle is a single-speed unit, so you'll need to adjust feed rates manually if you jump between materials. There's no built-in auto-speed sensor, so the onus is on you to find that sweet spot, which can be a little intimidating for absolute beginners. One of the most appealing aspects is the upgradable design. FoxAlien markets the router as a platform you can enhance with linear rails later on, or swap in a more powerful spindle if your business grows. This modular mindset gives you room to start small and add cost-effective upgrades when you actually need them. I did a quick cost comparison. Adding a set of linear rails from a reputable supplier runs about $150 $200, which is modest compared to buying a brand new, fully linear router that starts at $2,000. If you're a maker who likes to experiment, maybe switching from wood to acrylic to small metal parts, the ability to upgrade without discarding the whole machine is a genuine value proposition. Who should buy the FoxAlien Z Pro? If you're a hobbyist who already has a decent CAD/CAM workflow and you want a machine that can handle both wood and light metal without stepping into the $2,000 plus range, this router is a solid middle ground. It suits small business owners who produce custom signage, prototype parts, or limited-run furniture components. The closed-loop steppers and ball screws give you confidence that the parts will be repeatable, which matters when you're delivering to paying clients. It also works well for educators teaching CNC fundamentals. Students get to see real-world backlash reduction without the need for a massive budget. Who should skip it? If you're looking for a plug-and-play solution that will literally run itself, you might be disappointed. The Z Pro still requires you to set up your own controller board, install appropriate firmware, and fine-tune feed rates for each material. People who are uncomfortable with a bit of wiring or who expect a turnkey experience similar to higher-end desktop routers might find the learning curve steep. Additionally, if you're